I come from Serbia, and the way to answer one of your questions was, how did you get to Aflaton? You have someone like Jero, you've just met her, but you can sense how she is passionate about whatever she's doing. And then the very first time that I heard about Aflaton, it was like, okay, this is something that would make children first get some self-esteem in the first rate. We are talking about children who are 5, 6, 7 years old. And then they would learn about their family, their environment, neighbors, friends. And they would learn that they have some needs also. So it's not my need above everyone else's, but everyone else has something they need. And then getting up to a level where we are all responsible, so that none of us feels badly about not having a need fulfilled. So we can help someone fulfill the need. When you get older, the idea was, okay, now we are old enough to learn about the democracy in a way that everyone is equal in terms of the right to express oneself, in terms of the right to feel whichever way around one can feel at the moment, and we all have responsibilities. And that's the word that includes me into the whole thing. The world is full of talk about the rights. Everyone has the rights in this world. From the little animal crawling on the ground to everyone, everywhere in the world. And whoever talks about responsibilities, in a country that has a socialist background, the majority of people, let's say 90% of the people, enjoyed benefits unknown to the most capitalist countries in terms of social security, in terms of free education, in terms of almost free and easy job access, job security, health insurance, retirement scheme that was provided by the state. So where was the time for them to learn that they are responsible for anything? The state was looking after them like a big mommy or daddy. Now, all these countries went through, or are still going through, transition period, where the state does not do anything. So it's just the opposite, it's the other extreme. In a transition period, you have the state not being able to fulfill even the basic things that it is supposed to do. And people get lost. They run from one job to another. They do 2 or 3 jobs in one day, both parents. The grandparents are somewhere back, working, trying to add up some money to their pensions that are just going down, 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 down. And where are the kids in between? Left to themselves, and left to no parents at home who would actually talk to them if nothing else. Left to no one to take care of them, and left to the teachers who are miserable because they're not satisfied with the job and payment and anything else in their lives. So who cares about children? It's a burden. And in the middle of all that, you have children growing up without any respect for anything. First of all, themselves. Unless they have loads of money, and that doesn't come from their parents being well-educated or specialists in something, but rather very good at doing whatever, which is not really academic, then they don't have any self-respect, they don't have any hope that they could change anything. Because they see around people who have academic education, who are very, very good at doing whatever, hardly coping. So, is that something we want to do? No. What do we need education for? Nothing. Let's turn to trade. And then you have adolescents who lose all hope in society, in peers, and everyone. And then you have young people who are getting married, who have no hope of having enough resources to bring up well-educated or well-up-brought children to the world. So it's a vicious circle. And in the very poor areas where any center is very far away and inaccessible because you don't have money to travel there, you don't have money to be there, you're stuck with whatever poor environment you're in, it's another kind of left out feeling in both children and parents. So we need this. We need to show children that there is hope. We need to show them that they're worthy regardless of the amount of money they can spend on a daily basis. And then we have to lead them towards a community and society in which they feel responsible not just for their own little life, because each one of us has a very, very little life, but for the whole group of us. Because that's the only way we can actually bring them to the point when they will not be only concerned about their own life, regardless of the life of their parents on one side, regardless of their lives of their children on the other side, or anyone else. So we started doing this, and funny enough, the generation of the teachers and psychologists, school psychologists who were around 40 plus years old, they remembered the times when ideas that are put forward within the Appleton were the ones that they learned from their parents at home. You are supposed to take care of the electricity, if you have it, in terms of not leaving the lights up in your room when you're not there. You're supposed to be responsible to, I don't know, throw the garbage into the garbage bin, not anywhere around you. You're supposed to be responsible at school and do your homework well. These were the things that they were taught at home. Nowadays, no one is teaching them. So the teachers got hooked up, although it's an extra burden for them. And mind you, they're not getting paid for that extra burden, because they felt that that's something missing. And the more the school is supposed to be more like a parent, besides teaching, the curriculum, because no one else is teaching those kids how to behave and how to feel and how that it's all right to feel differently. They actually feel that it's a good way of doing that. And they go for that. And our experience is, although we are Eastern Europe, we are Europeans, in a way that the basic traditions more or less are the same. So we are not that different like an African or an Asian culture or tradition from anywhere else in Western Europe. But the conditions are dire. And therefore we need extra effort. And somehow it gets to the children and they like it. The whole thing went up to a scale where actually this social plus financial entrepreneurship was something that even the governor of the central bank recognized as something that could be very useful for the secondary school children. Because they're in the age where they start dealing with some money, be it credit for their mobile phone, be it some money, pocket money that is getting more serious, or actually they're working to earn some money and then spending before they actually get it into their pockets. For what? For a better mobile, for a better pair of sneakers which has better mark on it, branded stuff, or for something that is better. And so now we are in the process of developing actually the curriculum for the teenagers. Obviously, there is a need. Obviously, children like it. Obviously, children feel that they are okay with the whole thing. The changes that we made from the Indian version, the original version, were just in terms of you have the same ideas, but you have to express them differently. Because children in Europe are more mature when they start going to school. on general level, than the children in Asia. They know more about outside world, maybe, and they go quickly through the childhood period, and they are almost fighting to get to the teenage level as soon as possible. So they're missing some of the steps in between, so we had to adjust those things. But the ideas are the same, and I bet the ideas would be the same in every single country. So that's our experience.